I have seen things in my lifetime. I have seen things that no one was meant to see, that people have actively tried to erase from history. These are the top 5 worst Star Wars movies, and you might be thinking to yourself, wait, aren't there really only 8 movies if you count that Clone Wars movie that came out a few years ago? You're wrong. You're oh so wrong. And believe me, you're gonna wish you weren't. Number 5! Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Yeah, this is going to be really bad considering The Phantom Menace is freaking number 5. This movie has no protagonist, all the scenes don't make any sense, freaking Jar Jar Binks is one of the worst characters ever put into cinema. It's a terrible movie. You know, you got little Anakin doing his yippies and then flying through spaceships and all that stuff. The fight scene's cool at the end though, and honestly, most people are going to disagree with me. I really like the pod race scene. It reminds me of Ben-Hur, so that's awesome. But at the end of the day, it's a bad movie. However, it is admittedly my favorite prequel, so I'm willing to put it at number 5 because there is one prequel that is much worse, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But first, let's go to number 4. Caravan of Courage, an Ewok adventure. You've never heard of this one, have you? This is a very odd movie. It was released in 1984 as a children's and family flick, and it takes place entirely on the forest moon of Endor with a bunch of Ewoks. And the premise of the movie is that the Ewoks come across this, like, brother and sister that have their family, their parents stolen by this monster called the Gorax. So the Gorax steals them and they meet the Ewoks, and they decide to go get their parents back from the Gorax's castle by traveling across Endor, which is now not entirely a forest moon, so it defeats the entire purpose of calling it the forest moon. And there's also horses, and there's goats, and they're totally not in Northern California. This movie is really bad. It's terribly acted by the main cast, mostly because the 2 main characters are very, very young children.
No, mates, no!
Be quiet, Cinder.
They weren't hurting me.
These might be the guys who have mom and dad.
I think they want to be our friends.
And it was also made for TV. So, not really expecting a whole lot going into it, but you know what? It does have that Phantom Menace quality of being so bad, it's like somewhat enjoyable in that aspect, which is more than I will say for the goddamn number 3 entry. Number 3, Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Okay, maybe as a production, it's not as bad as the Ewok movie, but it's so boring. Nothing happens. At least in the Ewok movie, I can, like, see the Ewoks interact with each other, and it's kind of cute, and, you know, like, some of the effects from back in the day looked really cool, all the stop motion, and how they made the guy in the Gorax suit look really big when he obviously wasn't. There's some merit to be had there. Attack of the Clones just doesn't have any of that. Nothing happens. The majority of the movie is just, hey, let's sit on a couch, and then reverse shot to this person who walks away and looks at a window. I cannot watch that movie. I mean, like, the Geonosis battle is fine, it's alright, but then they get to the lightsaber duel, which is the worst one in the entire series, and then Yoda does all his little flippy things. Number 2, what can be worse than an Ewok movie and Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones? How about a sequel to the Ewok movie? Yeah! This movie got a sequel, except instead of having all the cool little, like, stop motion and cool shots making the things look giant and stuff, we just get some space pirates. The other one screamed made for TV. This one just screams made for the dump. It is not a well-acted movie. There's nothing happening in it. It introduces this really weird old guy character that isn't that interesting. There's very little semblance of a plot. This movie is barely a movie. And this is coming from a guy who just said that the first Ewok movie isn't that bad. This one is that bad. And number 1, what can be worse than all of these other movies combined? I think you know what it is. It is the legendary Star Wars Holiday Special. Yeah, this counts as a movie. It counts as a movie. It's 98 minutes long. This is a movie. It counts. It's in the Star Wars universe. it counts. The Star Wars Holiday Special, I don't know what I can say that other people already haven't. Most of the movie just takes place with the Wookiees making Wookiee sounds in their kitchen and living room. I mean, Han Solo tricks a stormtrooper into falling to his death, which is hilarious. The only redeeming factor in this entire film is the actual, like, cartoon, and even that is just fascinating more than anything. The Star Wars Holiday Special is about as entertaining as watching an instructional video, which is also a segment in that movie. For about 10 minutes, you just watch a Wookiee make something while watching a video of a robot guy making the same thing. It bothers the hell out of me. So those are my picks for the top 5 worst Star Wars movies of all time. Did I miss any? Are there more Star Wars movies that even I don't know about that are buried where no one will ever find them? Please let me know in the comments. Please tell me what your list in the comments is. Do you think that some of the original trilogy are the worst movies? Because if you do, you're dumb. But as we all know, my opinion is fact. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys next time.
It's not the end, friend, if you're a friend,